Jennie, I know you had some tough losses in the non-conference, 2-0 in the conference. What do you want to see the team do as conference play goes on to correct maybe some mistakes in the non-conference?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was as many mistakes. I mean, obviously we made plenty of mistakes, but I do think that we had some really, really valuable learning experience. So, I mean, you talk about putting a freshman point guard out there and having that many end-of-game situations in the first half of her freshman year. That's pretty darn good experience. And really, when you've lost so much production from a year before, to be able to gain that much experience from all of our players. I mean, we had a number of players go for game winners. We had a number of players on the floor trying to get game stops. So I think that kind of stuff really can help you as you head into conference play. So what I want to see is I want to see a team that plays hard all the time. That's something that we've got to make sure that we continue to do, and really, really show that we have learned a lot in that non-conference.
What are the girls? A lot of them are new this year, playing a lot more minutes.
Right.
Have you seen their confidence go up? As the season has gone along.
Yeah, I do. I think that I think we're really trying to gel even better, and it's been hard. Sarah Ryan's been limited, so she's starting to get a little bit more healthy, so that helps us. When we've had to limit her minutes in games, hopefully that will start to have to go away. Becca Jonas continues to feel better and look better. She's moving a lot better, so that helps us. And then obviously, I think Becca Hittner's confidence has really started to grow. I think Brittany Rose's confidence has really started to grow. The exciting piece is when you look at 3 of our top 4 scorers and they're sophomores, and it's a very, very bright future for us. So you're going to have some games where you're not going to have a lot of confidence. You're going to have some days that you do, but I really do think that non-conference schedule has really helped us kind of take a step back, learn a little bit more about ourselves, and really will propel us in our conference season.
Jennie, what are you most concerned about now going into the conference play?
Well, I think you have to stay healthy. I mean, that's been a thing that we've unfortunately battled a little too much. And then even the pressure of trying to do what's already been done last year and to continue to separate the team that we are this year. And I think we've done a nice job of that. We have really high expectations for ourselves. And at the same time, I think, if we can really just separate every single day and just focus on who we are and getting better, then I think that stuff takes care of itself.
I've always wondered, the women's MVC schedule, Friday, Sunday, Friday, Sunday. Are you a fan of that, or would you rather it be more like Wednesday, Sunday, where you have a little more break in between, or do you like the quick turnaround for the weekend?
The answer is both. When you don't have a ton of depth, you'd prefer having more time. But I do like how many people we play, and that's also why we play a lot of people, because then you can play the style that you want 2 games in 3 days. So we have to play a lot of people. We like playing a lot of people. So in terms of the schedule, they didn't ask me, and I don't really have a vote in that. I like it for that perspective. I like how we play, the style that we play, I think really does benefit us in our conference schedule.
This weekend, 2 road games, 2 big ones early on. It's not make or break early in the season, but these are 2 big ones that could kind of put you in front, right off the bat.
Yeah, and we talked about yesterday as a team where it's okay. This is the biggest road trip of the year because it's the next one, right? It's the next part of our season, and so for us, I think even taking some lessons that we've learned in these first 2 games at home, taking it on the road, and when you go on the road, it's just different. It is different, and when you go down to Missouri State where they have great fan base, it's a fun place to play. It's a really fun place to play, and so we've got to make sure that we bring it. And when you are on the road, you're down already, so you got to figure that out. And I think that's something that we definitely will do and get better.
You mentioned before something about last year when you conversation. Was there pressure going into this year? I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's really tough to do what you did last year. It's almost it's never been done before. So was there pressure on the team to try to?
I don't know. I mean, I think we'd be feeling really good if you win a game that went into 4 overtimes, which either team can win, right? And then you'd feel really good in a game that you're in 2 overtimes and you're missing 18 points a game in Sarah Ryan. You feel a little bit better if you get those couple games, and then you play a South Dakota State who's a little bit more seasoned, and you have the experience of winning that game instead of having the experience of not winning that game. So I think, you're talking 3 games. You have those 3 games and you're feeling a little bit better. So in terms of pressure, I don't know. In terms of learning ourselves a little bit more, absolutely.
Is that kind of what this is all about right now? Is just learning about yourselves still?
You know, you hope that you take care of that in the non-conference. You hope that you really learn who you are. I think we've learned that we need to practice at a higher level. I think that's a big thing. And with a young team, that's something that I think every coach would probably tell you that that's probably one of the biggest challenges. And so I think we are practicing at a much higher level. But again, going back and saying, okay, our freshmen now have to become sophomores at this point because we rely on freshmen. You know, every year our sophomores have to become juniors because we have had a lot of youth and we do play a lot of people. And so I think instead of learning who we are, we need to take who we are and we need to enhance it.
Does this team still have the pieces to play that up-tempo, fast style? I mean, is that something you're still trying to incorporate into the younger kids too? That, hey, we're getting up and down the court no matter what?
Yeah, absolutely. That's who we are. That didn't go away with anybody. You know, that's who we are. That's the system and style that we've brought here. That's the system and style we are going to have. And that's and it's not just an up tempo in the full court. I think that we do have pieces that can do that, but it's also being that up tempo style in the half court. And that's something that you just have to learn how to manage, whether it's in the full court or the half court.
One more thing: has it been hard finding leaders this year? Because you lost, Caitlin and Lizzy were huge leaders. Have you been able to find the leaders to step up and kind of take on those roles, which sometimes can be challenging?
Yeah, well, leaders have to come every day, right? And so when you are young, that's something that you've got to be able to navigate through. I do think that we have great leadership on our team. I think we have a lot of leaders on our team, and I think again, it's putting all the pieces together. You know, I mean, we have a system where you really have to read each other, both offensively and defensively. And so when we've had people limited in practice, and then you've played a game, there's something that's going to be a little bit off. And so but again, that's what happens with a new team when you do have new pieces, because we rely so heavily on reading each other. That's when right now during the conference season, all that should start to come into play, and that's what we've done every year. Every year we get better and better every week as we go, and so we want to be playing our best basketball in February and March.
So I noticed today on the All Valley 25-year team.
Yeah,
Lizzy
pretty
Window.
special. Yeah.
Lizzy Window, three big players. I mean, Carla Bennett was one, I forget the third one, but that says a lot about Lizzy.
Well, it was Trisha Wakely, Carla Bennett, and Lizzy Window. That says a lot about Lizzy Window. It says a lot about what she was able to do when you're talking about, 10 players on that team and 3 are from Drake. That's pretty special. It's really, really special.